Hello, and welcome to a conversation with a Waukegan artist presented by the Waukegan Arts Council. My name is Jane Waller, and I am the Vice Chair of the Waukegan Arts Council and one of the founders. I'm here with Patricia Hogan, who is the Secretary of the Arts Council, and with Cory Ratliff, who's going to talk to us about what's going on in Waukegan art-wise. Pat and I are both natives of Waukegan, and we are very proud of our town and very proud of its deep and rich cultural and artistic heritage. Before we begin our conversation about the arts and about what's going on with Cory Ratliff, let me tell you a little bit about the Waukegan Arts Council. We were formed in 2010 with the support of the city and the Park District. It is a member-based, not-for-profit 501c3 corporation, which has a mission to serve as a catalyst to advance the economic, social, and cultural life of Waukegan through education, collaboration, networking, and the promotion of the arts. We work to support art-related activities and opportunities so that we can bring together our artists, our community, and our residents, hoping to make this a place where we're all happy to live, work, and play. You know, getting together in the time of COVID is not always easy, and sometimes it's downright impossible. So the Arts Council has turned to Zoom to bring this opportunity to talk to Waukegan artists and to promote the arts in Waukegan. As I said, our conversation is with Cory Ratliff. He is a senior co-pastor at the Sign of the Dove Church in Waukegan, and he is a man who wears many hats. He is a husband and a father, a citizen of Waukegan, a dancer, a musician, a teacher, and that just begins to name a few things that tell us about Cory. So to start the conversation, I'm going to turn to Pat. Do you have a question for Cory?
I do. I have many questions. I'll try to limit them, though. Cory, at one of our Waukegan Art Council meetings, I heard you say it's all about Waukegan. Tell us about your connection and commitment to Waukegan.
Sure. I started my adult career here in Waukegan and just really got plugged in to the community through my church. So I'd been a member of the Sign of the Dove Church for some 25 plus years, and under the leadership of Harry Stackhouse. And once he had turned the reins over, he turned the reins over to me and Pastor Jason. And so now it's been about 2.5 years that I've been the senior co-pastor of that church. And I absolutely love my church. I've been the musician there, created several different projects there. We've gotten tied in with the community. We've done street fairs. We tried to be involved with things going on in the city, stuff happening at city council, and being a part of the Arts Council was just one of those things that had to be the next thing. And I saw what was happening with Art Walk. I just attended an art walk one Saturday, and when I saw what was going on with Art Walk, I was happy but yet disappointed. I was happy because yes, arts are being featured and this is great, but I was disappointed because one facet of arts was missing, and that's dance. Yeah. So I was just like, we can't have it. So I wrote someone, I'm not sure who picked up my message, and just said, hey, we need to have dance represented in our town. And so slowly but surely we ended up getting me on the council, and we ended up doing some many great things through the council to make sure dance was represented as well. And so, I have a strong commitment for this place. I've raised my family in this place. I got married in this place, so for me, having my whole adult career be here has been really cool. I've really enjoyed this city. I've enjoyed connecting with the variety of people. When my dance company did a presentation about Waukegan, it was really cool to get to know all of the different cultures that were represented in this place. And so, love it here.
Go ahead. Tell me, how did you start as a dancer? You're a strong, athletic type guy, but when I see you dance, you're graceful and evocative and just amazing. So how did that happen?
Well, surely I appreciate that. I've always had an eye for dance. I have one short story. When I was in high school, I was in the show choir playing trombone as a musician. So I was playing trombone for the show choir, and they had a rehearsal that was on a Saturday for choreography, and I asked if I could come, and the teacher said, yeah, sure, you can come. And so I learned, I looked and watched, and I was just so fascinated by all of the movement. And so the following week, I, was at rehearsal, and some people could not remember the choreography, and I just raised my hand and said, I remember, and so they were like, okay, so you can dance. Didn't know you can dance, so they invited me to be in the actual group, and it just started this avenue for me of really wanting to do choreography and wanting to dance. I naturally am a teacher, and so I enjoy teaching people how to dance. So it wasn't for me to be a dance career, a dance professional like that, but to instruct others and create productions. That is where I'm at. So it started back then, and now it's still going today.
So it sounds like dance and music is in your soul. And that makes me think about the other part of your life. You're a pastor and a minister and a teacher. And you mentioned teaching. How do you use dance to teach and any form of art that you have to teach the kids that you encounter?
Sure. So when I was just being raised by my parents, my mom was very integral in dealing with church choirs and children's choirs, and so she would always do musicals, and I was dragged along to be a part of those musicals. So dancing in them started there as well, but that whole thing continued. So those musicals that those kids did, I enjoyed doing that. And so when I got to college, I got involved in different musicals. I watched how people did choreography. I took dance classes, instructed, choirs and different things like that. Once I graduated from college, I was called on by several different groups to choreograph things. And so I choreographed for a golf club for some senior citizens. They were doing a show. They were doing a show, and it was great. It was so cute, but it was a fundraiser show for a golfing club, and I think it was in Highland Park. And so I did choreography for them. So working with them was really wonderful. I think the oldest person was like 76 or something like that, and they just had a blast.
Oh, we better be careful, Jerry. Our time is coming.
Right.
But I've just been put in different environments to interact with all different levels. To be able to bring choreography specifically to that level. And it's just very rewarding for me to be able to work with people, and so this happened with music, it's happened with dance. And when I got to Sign of the Dove just began to open up a lot more avenues for me to choreograph. So I've created original shows at the Sign of the Dove that were for presentations, for celebrations, all types of things. We used to do a gala that just involved other people from the community. It was always original music, original lyrics, original choreography. And then just the avenue opened up in 2003 for us to travel overseas. And so now I was able to take this gift. I see the sun is moving, so let me move. So now I was able to take this gift overseas, and it was just awesome that I could get with a group of children, get with a group of teenagers, and on the spot, we could learn some choreography right on the spot. And just the joy of dancing, it just brings people together. And so that's my life. I mean, my life is about bringing people together and reconciling and bringing my faith to the table as well, just to let people know that they are loved and let people know that there's a God that loves them. And so for me to be able to use my art and everything and my faith has been very integral to spreading this. Thus began a Lots. So in 2010, yeah. So in 2010, a parent had come to me from the church, and she was spending all this money in the Gurnee, one of the dance studios in Gurnee. And she was saying, I spent all this money and I get to the recital and my daughter just did 3 dance moves, and yet she's been with you and has done whole productions, so why don't you just start a company yourself? And so that happened. September of 2010, we started a Lots Dance Company with the intent of cultivating the dancer within. And so we started with 14 kids, and now we have a enrollment of 50 children to adults. And the program has been awesome. We've also made a branch called the Professional Company, a Lots Dance Company. And we've premiered many places here in Waukegan and have been on the program for many other dance companies as well. And we've also traveled too. We've sent a unit to Uganda to do some work in Uganda, Africa. And so that's Dance Mission International. So it's just been so many great things that have happened, you know, as a result of just this gift that God has given me. So.
But Cory, during this pandemic, how do you bring people together? How do you continue to do that?
Yeah, it's been complicated. I tell you, when the closures started in March, our show was supposed to happen March 14th, and our organization had to make a decision whether we were going to continue with the show or whether we were going to close. And we elected to close. And so unfortunately, we didn't even get to do our spring show. And many of the kids were so disappointed. And so I'm still getting messages today, hey, are we going to do that show? And I want to say, yes, we're going to do it. I just don't know when. And so it's just been hard. We started doing Zoom classes on Mondays at 7 o'clock. And, you know, at the first time we had many people, but then the second time the number got lower, and it just got lower and lower. And people just were not plugged into the Zoom, doing Dance by Zoom. And so it was just kind of difficult. And so one of the other things that we've tried to do is some of these parades. And so we would find a person that we know was in trouble or know that it was their birthday, and we basically showed up at their house and we danced outside, you know. And for one particular young lady, she had lost her mom. And so, you know, the dance community got together and we just drove by her house and we sang to her and just blessed her. And then we danced some dances together. She danced at a distance at her house, and we kind of danced on the street. And, you know, people were just blessed by it. So that's one way of connecting. Another way is I've tried to get partnered up with some other organizations. And so I'm a part of the African American Community Partners Group. And so with that group, we're trying to really target the disparities that are happening with African Americans concerning COVID. And so I'm on the self-care team, and part of the self-care team is I get to use my dance to really be a part of self-care. Okay, so that people can get up and move and at least start breathing, take a break from the mundane, and let's take some time to move. And so I've created several different videos to just help people do that. And so it's been tough, but we've tried to, you know, keep things connected. And also doing interviews like this, ladies, you guys it's a great idea to do this because it's another way of just keeping people connected. Everybody has to be in front of a screen at some point. And so being able to do this helps us stay connected. Okay,
so how do we stay connected with you? How do you get the videos? How do we, you know, plug into you? Give us some emails or something.
Our website is www.alotsdance.org. And we also have a YouTube channel. And so many times I'll post things on that YouTube channel. We also have a Facebook page that's A Lot's Dance. And on Facebook, and people can see videos that we post there as well. I've tried to post just what our dance instructors are doing, and so I've got a few videos out there that show either Anissa Diaz doing some work. I have a video of me doing some work, and Vanessa Moore doing some work. And so these are the ladies that I work with, and so we've tried to stay connected by, hey, show us what you're working on during this time of COVID, and so then we'll just post it for people to enjoy.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for all your efforts on behalf of the City of Waukegan, the Sign of the Dove, Waukegan Art Council. You're an inspiration to all of us, truly.
Well, thank
you. Is it time for us to wrap up, Jane?
Yes, just one more plug. The Waukegan Arts Council is going to be launching a new website. So look for us, www.waukeganartscouncil.org. And we have a Facebook page too. In fact, you're probably watching us on Facebook right now. Again, thank you very much, Cory. Thanks, Pat, for joining me, and we'll sign off.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.